Yes, and welcome back again to the Focus Group. This is the only place that you're sure you're going to get the best and the best of the Focus Group, the trending stories, and also the entertaining and the information that you need to get by through this day. This is the Focus Group. Welcome back again. It's the 15th. It's mid-month. Mid-month imefika katikati ya mwezi. Naona ni saa 9 imepita dakika 17. That is a very good time to start the show for today, because I know you about to head back home. Ama you already finishing your day. Today is Monday, because I'm sure nobody goes the full day on Monday. Saizi najua ndio wakati ambao watu wako karibu kuelekea manyumbani, and I'm here to give you the good vibes for this day. It's Monday, it's not raining, it's a feel good day. Fake on the minimum. Najua saizi kama hauna ka advance mfuko imekaa design nyingine, so it's a good moment to listen to me as you wait for your journey back home. Mr. Sadakta is still out and about. Ako kule mahali kunaita Homa Bay. He's still trying to get us the daily bread, and hopefully we're going to catch up with him tomorrow. Today it's already late, so I'm not going to promise you today you're going to catch up with him, but tomorrow be sure that you're going to get Mr. Sadakta right here at the Focus Group Studios. Yes, the man with a plan. Yesterday he took it to the media houses. I'm not sure if they requested them. He called for them. But I have two issues I want to put across today. I'm only here for a few minutes. I'm sure it's Monday. You want to go and rest. I'm sure most of you had a very long weekend, but I really want to ask this. What is happening? Because these two gentlemen really seem to be meeting a lot. Bwana Director Dennis, I do not know if you have one of those photos where our two principals are meeting. Bwana Dennis, would you have a photo of the two principals meeting? You see, these two principals are meeting a lot. First of all, they meet in the veteran's wife, that is Shesho Mukambi, may her soul rest in peace. They meet there and they have the handshake. That is His Excellency William Samoei Ruto and the Right Honorable Mr. Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. And I do not know what is happening. I've said this time and again, and I think the handshake is inevitable. It is coming. It is out there. It is coming. So I do not know how scripted this is. These people are meeting randomly. I do not know how random it is. I do not know the script about this, but I know most of these things do not just happen. And people are being prepped for something to come. I believe someone somewhere is scripting something, maybe testing the waters to see how deep they are, how deep they would go if these two people are to make a handshake. But I can promise you, there's a handshake coming. The house up in Karen, I do not know how he's going to respond to this, but the handshake, I'm sure the handshake is coming. The handshake is coming, because if you look at the interviews at which the first meeting was there and the second meeting came, these people seem to be very much at ease with each other. The tension that was there is no longer there. There's some comfort in it. Kuna ile uneasiness ishaisha. Now there is comfort. They are very comfortable with each other. I know they've worked together back in 2007, but this seems to be a deja vu moment. They seem to be very comfortable as they were back then. They've been a lot of unease between them since the 2013 up until now, but now they seem to be very at ease with each other. And they've already done the handshake. That was in that was it on Sunday when there was a football match, a rally, I do not know what was there, but they met at the stadiums and they did the handshake, which was quite interesting. Because yesterday at the interviews, I had one of the interviewers ask if the house at the Karen knew he was coming, and the president made it very jokingly that sijui kama alikwambia anakuja akakosa kukuja, but the man in Karen is quite uncomfortable. So let us look at this photo. Do you see the amount of comfort there is here? These people are very comfortable with each other. Even the president just rises up to say hi to the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Look at that photo. These are not people with the same anger there was before. And sijui kama bwana Dennis unaweza tupatia ya juzi wakiwa kwa stadium. There's another handshake wakiwa kwa stadium. This is quite, these people seem to be very much at ease with each other. It's like they knew this was coming. It's like one was briefed and the other was briefed. There's a script to this. These people are acting of a movie. They should be on Netflix. They are feeling each other. If you look at before, I don't know if you have a photo of before, or there's a time they met right before the elections. No, right after the elections. And they seemed very much separated. You could feel these people, you could feel them. You could feel these people are not together. But of late, if you look at the two meetings they had, these people are very much at ease. Now, the son of Mau, I'm quite worried of how he's going to take this, but I think he already knows this is coming. It is on the way. It is knocking. And people seem to be welcoming it. Sakaja said it's coming, so who knows? Let's welcome it. Let's not welcome it. However it goes, it seems a very road they're taking. And if you had the comments they had at the stadium, they were very nice. These people are starting to have a conversation, and you can see even both of their supporters are now at ease. Nobody is throwing stones. Nobody is doing what the Inchi now needs to move forward. And this is a really good thing now. Now, moving on to the boiling room. The president met with the media yesterday. And I listened to that interview. I actually was listening to it today. And the president, I don't think the interview went his way. If he called for this interview, Hussein, he should be halfway to the gate right now, because I don't think he prepped him or he briefed him to the question. I do not think he got the guide. I'm a citizen just decided to ambush the president. Not even this citizen, most of these I think they just decided to ambush the president. They gave Hussein the wrong script. They came with the guide and they gave him the wrong guide. Now the president was halfway and did not know how to answer some of the questions. And as clever as he is, I said this president is a salesman. He can sell to you just about anything. He tried to find his way around the bush. He found a panya route, and I think he almost fit into it to get to the other side. But you would ask yourself a question, because the president, in one hand, he had this feeling, he had this script of telling people that there is public participation in this decision of a tax increment. And on the other hand, there was a question of if this thing is included with the public, if there is public participation, and the public are denying this increment by all levels, what happens? The president had no words for that, and he opted to take the highway as he's taking it nowadays and said, I'm the commander-in-chief, and I have the right, the Kenyans have given me the right to put to law whatever I want to put to law. So, What he's telling you is, this is not tax, this is not a must, but you have to pay for it. You understand? I was also confused. It's a tongue twister. You do not have to think to it so much. You're going to hurt your head. But the president said it. It is not a must. It is not tax, but you have to pay it. There is a responsibility that he's been tasked with. He's been given the power to say and to put law whatever he wants. So this is not tax. This is, you do not have to adhere to it, but you have to adhere to it. I also am confused. I do not know what is happening here. There was a tongue twister. That is the match I picked from it. You do not have, this is not a must, but you have to. I'm also confused as you are. So if you have more questions to that, please visit the Spirit, Pale Mwisho. There is a very protected house there. It's called the State House. You can go there and ask Ama Harambe House. I'm also confused because he gave two statements. You do not have to, but you have to. That is the way it is. Yes, Mr. President. I understand that these are points that needs to be made here. The last administration made a lot of mistakes, especially in borrowing. And I understand we have to live by our means. And that is a word that you stood up to since you took over this administration. And I believe it's a very good step to make. But now we have here a country that is already in the mud. And digging into the road further, thinking that you're going to collect the mud and probably leave a space that is better for people, reach for the rocks beneath, for people to walk on those rocks up until they can manage to build their own tarmac, does not make the situation any better. I understand. Because now, when you dig further to reach the rocks so people cannot move on mud, then you're digging a hole that will take us so much time to fill so we can build the tarmac now. I do not know if I'm making any sense, but that's the only way I can explain this. The last administration borrowed a lot of money. But trying to prove a point that you can live up to what you promised by not borrowing and letting Kenyans, there's a phrase, my mom is PCA, there's a phrase they use, kujitegemea. And I understand us, we also say kulipa ushuru ndio kujitegemea, but this is the point. You can borrow now and try to manage whatever you borrow so we do not get into the same hole we were the other times. I understand your point, we do not need highways, whereas we can build, we can try to move with baby steps to get to where we are. We've already started with the high steps that the last president started us off. You can borrow, try to manage what you've borrowed. Instead of putting this huge burden on these Kenyans, we can still borrow, then manage what you can borrow. Get a budget that is way off. I understand, it is there. I understand what the president is saying. We do not need to live beyond our means. Yes, borrow. Start from there. Get us on our feet so the next time we do not have to borrow. But as you say, you found a country that is heading to bankruptcy. Yes, so if this country is heading to bankruptcy, this country has a population of people who felt the bankruptcy. So if you're going to put more burden on these people who almost fell to bankruptcy, it means these people they do not have anything else. So please get them help first. Get them on their feet. We get your point. Get these people first on their feet. And if there's somewhere you can borrow the money to come and implement, empower the production, as you say, by borrowed money, not digging deeper from these people who are almost heading to bankruptcy. Because you see, what is going to happen is this. You're not going to borrow. You're going to dig deeper into these people's pockets. So if you're going to dig deeper into these people's pockets, it means by the time you create a field whereby they can feel comfortable, they will have nothing. So getting them up will be a challenge again. So you'll have to go back to the point whereby you borrow for them now to feed them. You understand? For consumption now. So this would be, I know I'm not an economist, and I've seen most of the people telling other people to not play economists, but you yourselves, they say this, but I'm president, and I think you ulipotele hii swali jana. David D, who's not, I'm not a fan of his, by the way, said government wastes a lot of money. Mr. President, that question was posed to you yesterday, but you did not answer that question the right way. What that question was asking, why can't you scale down on government spending? Mr. President, have you seen the amount, the vehicles that park in your state house when you call for a meeting? Have you seen your governors and your members of parliament, the amount of time they spend on air, flying choppers, going to one meeting? Yani you'll have on one day a governor telling you they came from Tana River, then in the evening wako Kisumu for a burial, afternoons they are wherever, flying on taxpayers' pockets. Why can't you scale down on this? On the first 3 months, I made a post, I think so, and you saw the amount of flying your governors made, not on official business, flying to Nakuru for a Sunday service, flying to Kitale sijui for water opening. That is what you're being asked yesterday. Can they try and scale down? I saw you say yesterday, you're not a man to be fooled by your aid. The people who work for you, you have their schedules. You know how they operate. I heard you say that yesterday. So please, have you seen the amount of time these people spend on air? Flying all over this country. Me, I've never flown a chopper, but I know how much it takes from here, driving from here to Kitale. I know how much it costs. So if it costs that much with a 1500cc vehicle, I would only imagine how much it's going to cost to fly from here to Kitale, from here to Nakuru. So if only you can let your aides, now your governors, these are all your aides, your governors, your MPs and all these officials, if at least you can tell them to scale down a bit. So we who are paying the taxes do not have to feel the pinch and seeing people flying all over. You get, that is the pain Kenyans are feeling. The pain Kenyans are feeling is seeing people driving 3.0 tank vehicles, 3000cc Range Rovers, and they have a fleet of about 4 vehicles escorting them to a meeting from one point to the other. That is the amount of pain these Kenyans are feeling. It is not that Kenyans feel comfortable going to the streets and throwing stones. No, but Kenyans feel this pain when they have to see a government official flying into 3 destinations in a single day, when they can appoint someone from that area to go do the job. The amount of feeling that Kenyans feel, someone posting a photo of them in VIP section watching a match live in Stanford or wherever else these balls are played. That is the amount of pain these Kenyans feel. So when Kenyans ask you, please, can you scale down on government spending? They're not talking about state house spending, no. Presidents need to be protected. Kenya president will always cost money, and we understand that. But all these other people, that is the governors and the MPs on that, they do not have to do all this flying. They can scale down. They can definitely scale down. We do not have to see all these departures to all over the world by CSs. We have embassies all over. We have consulates all over. So if they have to do something on the other side, why can't they use these ambassadors on the other side? Because there's something I've always had an issue on. This thing called benchmarking. Why do we have to have someone move from Kenya to the UK to do something an ambassador on the other side can do? I was surprised to see some of the embassies outside there have a population of more than 100 employees on different sections. So you'll have one section with about 50 employees. So the whole consulate, the whole embassy will constitute of about 100 plus employees. So why do we have all these people on the other side if we still have to import other people from this side, going to the other side, doing something the other side would have done? Hey, today is full of tongue twisters. The president showed us yesterday. So yes, Bona President, please take note. You can borrow so we Kenyans do not have to feel the pain from now. We understand this is your first year. You have a whole lot of years ahead of you. You have 4 years. You barely have touched the ground. You have scratched anything barely. We understand. You told us about the June gas reduction. We do not know if you're trying to play campaigns or something. We do not know. Yesterday you said we have to wait up until budget is done so you can scale down on the gas. The same way you explained that, you can explain to Kenyans. Yes, I told you I'm going to scale down on borrowing. But this is my first time here. And I found a government that is already going to down to dilapidation. So you can borrow this time around. This is your first year. You can borrow this time, cushion Kenyans on these very difficult times. Then on your other years, you can do your plan now. But now you've gotten in with a plan that this time around is going to make Kenyans feel pain they've never felt. Mr. President, here's my 2 cents. You have a plan and Kenyans have felt your plan. That you want to support production, not consumption. And all these monies that was going to subsidies is monies that is going to get us into various troubles. And you say, as you said yesterday, there are so many countries in the third world, that is in Africa, that have defaulted these loans. But since we have a way of procuring more loans or getting more loans, get these loans from these entities, bring the loans, implement your plan, and then within the 4 years that is left on your plan, and maybe more, because who knows, this is your first term, Mr. President, you could now implement the other plans that you have. And Kenyans will understand, trust me. As you said, you're the commander-in-chief. You've been given the powers to make anything into law. So who's to question you if you diverted kidogo from your manifesto, cushion Kenyans to their own benefit, and then make life a bit easier for them? It will not hurt anybody. You have majority in parliament. You have majority in Senate. These people will do anything for you. If you tell them to push anything into law, they will. Come on, I've seen you tell them do something and they've done it. So it is possible. Kenyans are really suffering out here. And they say, I know, and I've said this multiple times, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. I know your head is very uneasy right now. You're the only one who can tell the pressures that you're feeling there. But like you said, hearing something, please take it from us. This is public participation. I saw a tweet, I saw a post yesterday where sometime back before you got into power, where Tony Gashoka was questioning someone, and not Tony Gashoka, what do you call him? Jeff Koinange was questioning you with an interview, and they said, and he asked you and said that either one of the two, that Mr. Ruto only listens to Mr. Ruto. Please do not make these people right. Do not give them that rope. Here we are as Kenyans, and we are requesting you, not even asking you. You're the commander-in-chief. You're the president, His Excellency. We are here requesting you, Mr. President. You can take loans this time around. Cushion us from these hard times. Then you have a very long road ahead of you. 4 years before the 5-term first round lapses. Then you have another 5 years. So that is 9 years. The first year will not do any harm. And you have your economist there who've told you time and again, and he said it right here in the mainstream media. Millions of Kenyans watching, and he said the government is wasting a lot of money. He's actually very, I do not know the word he used, it's a very difficult word in English, I cannot repeat it, but he said that government wastes a lot of money. You can take loan this time around, cushion us from these hard times, then while you're at it, make sure this subject of yours, these employees of yours are not putting it into our faces and showing us the middle are not showing us the middle finger. Because when we see them up there every day on choppers, they are really showing us the middle finger. So, Mr. President, thank you very much for enlarging us. Yesterday, that was very nice of you. I really felt something. You're trying to connect with us. I did not see that coming. You're not there on your high horse. You came down to us. You've multiple times done that since you got to the presidency. I think this is the second time or the third time. I'm not very sure. But yes, it shows us that you're with us, the hustlers. And that is the only way you can connect with us. Thank you very much. And I also think public participation inahitajika research kidogo. Niko hapa, ukitaka mtu ya mkono naweza fanya ka data collection kidogo. Sio kwa ubaya, ni kuuliza tu, ninauliza. I don't charge much, pesa kidogo tu nikuletee data hapo, na nikwambie venye Wakenya wanasema about kitu ya tax before it gets to the final stage. Nikwambie najua Wakenya watasema kitu. Thank you very much for watching. I can see Mr. Dominic Mainge. Mr. Dominic, thank you very much for keeping in touch with us. I think Mr. Dominic is one fan that... Thank you, Mr. Dominic, for being with us. Mr. Felix, Mr. Sharon Paul, Mr. Doctor, karibu sana. Mr. Deno, I see you're also catching up from the inside there. Thank you very much. And the rest of you who are joining us, thank you very much. Tumeshukuru sana for joining us. And we say karibu sana. I think that is the end of it. So, yes, we take it to the prayers and tufunga hii kitu. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Bwana Dennis.